Book Club! Hey everyone! Dan the Reading Dad from One Man Book Club. So glad that you're here. I've got The Last Green Valley by Mark Sullivan. Mark Sullivan strikes again with this one. If you haven't read Beneath the Scarlet Sky or All the Glimmering Stars, you're doing yourself a disservice. The Last Green Valley fits right in with those other two books that I loved. I think everyone will probably love these books by Mark Sullivan. Here's why. The Last Green Valley is historical fiction, and it's based on a true story, which makes it magical. It follows the Martel family as they flee Ukraine during World War II. With Stalin's forces advancing from the east and the Nazis pushing from the west, the Martels are caught in the crossfire. The Martels are an ethnic German family who has lived in Ukraine for generations, but now they must make an impossible choice. Stay and risk being sent to Siberia by the Soviets, or flee with the Nazis who've promised to protect all of the pure-blood Germans. The Martels choose to flee with the Nazis, and their journey is perilous, harrowing, horrible, tragic, heartbreaking. Yeah, all of those. They face starvation, disease, the threat of constant violence, but through it all, they're sustained by their love for each other and their faith. Mark Sullivan does a masterful job of bringing this story to life. He paints a vivid picture of the horrors of war, but he also shows the resilience of the human spirit. The Last Green Valley is powerful and it's moving. And it's been a few weeks since I've read it, and I'm still thinking about it, even these weeks later. So what did I like? Well, I like that it's based on a true story. I always find it fascinating to read books that are based on true stories. It makes the story just feel so much more real and so much more meaningful, and Mark Sullivan is an expert at doing this. So make sure you read the preface or any postscripts in a Mark Sullivan book, because these facts, while dramatized, are incredible because they actually happened. And in the preface or the epilogue or postscript, he gives very detailed descriptions of how he came up with the story, which is super, super cool. I also love the compelling characters. The Martels are relatable and a sympathetic family. I found myself rooting for them to survive. The vivid descriptions. Sullivan does a great job of describing the setting and the events of the story. I felt like I was right there on the journey with the Martels. The exploration of faith in this book. It explores the role of faith in the face of adversity. And this is a theme that I found to be very thought-provoking. I appreciated it. What I didn't like, well, not much actually, but the book was a little bit slow-paced at times. There was some graphic violence. The book contains graphic violence, war violence, which it might be disturbing to some readers. It was really, really intense. I felt like I was, white-knuckled the whole time, and it just was hard thing after hard thing after hard thing after hard thing that happened to the Martel family. And that was hard and a big deal too. The Last Green Valley, though, is for any readers who are interested in historical fiction, World War II, or stories of survival. It is powerful, and it's a moving story that's going to stick with you. Because of the strong violence and the harrowing situations, this Reading Dad says the book is best for ages 16 and up, but it's a marvelous book about the history of World War II and some of the real events that happened. Highly recommend. Happy reading!